É mais linda, mas cheia de graça. Ela menina que vai que passa, doce balanço a caminho do mar. Massa do corpo raro do sol d'Ipanema, se o bellezzato e mais que poema é quase mais linda, porque não. Soubesse que quando ela passa, mundo sorrindo se echa de graça e fica mais linda por causa do amor. She passes goes. When she walks, it's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gently that when she passes, each one she passes goes. Oh, but he watches so sadly. day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at he, tall and tan and young and lovely. The girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, he smiles, but she doesn't see. No, she doesn't see. No, she doesn't see. She doesn't see. She doesn't see. Alone together. We don't sound too bad for it.
I can't tell the time.
I can't
You
tell.
say so. Alone together.
Alone together beyond the crowd, above the world. We're not too proud to cling together. We're strong as long as we're together. Alone together. The blinding rain, the setting sun. We're not in vain, for we're together. And what is there to fear together? Our love is as deep as the sea. Our love is as great as a love can be. And we can weather the great unknown if we're alone together. be on the ground above the world. We're not too proud to play together. We're strong as long as we're together. Alone together. The blinding rain, the setting sun. We're not in vain, for we're together. And what is there to fear together? Our love is as deep as the sea. Our love is as great as a love can be, and we can weather the great unknown if we're alone. If we're alone. If we're alone together.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our program is about to begin. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your host and MC for this evening, Museum of Ventura County Executive Director and CEO, Elena Brokaw.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am delighted to see you all here and to welcome you to this 2023 Annual State of the County Address. I'm also delighted, I don't see you, but I'm delighted that you at home are here with us. We're a little jealous of you in your jammies, so enjoy yourself. You're missing a great party after this, though. And also, hi, Mom. Okay. Before we get started, I want to thank our performers during the registration. That was Tony Janata, Dave Smith, and Ryan Roberts, who kept us all calm during the registration. Thank you. Now, as the voice in the ceiling said, my name is Elena Brokaw, and I am the Executive Director of the Museum of Ventura County, best job in the world. And speaking on behalf of myself and the board of directors and everyone I work with, we are very honored to have been asked to be a part of this important annual address. The Museum of Ventura County's #1 mandate and mission is to ensure that our county's unique history and culture is preserved and protected so that future generations can create a better tomorrow based on what happened yesterday and all the days before that. And tonight, we are going to have a very close look at the last 365 days, which hopefully will help establish for us some guideposts about where we want to go and who we want to be as a county in the future. The museum, for those of you who don't know, the county turned 150 years old this year. We were established in 1873, and the museum and the county together have been hosting a series of celebrations over the last 150 days. So basically, it's been nearly a half a year of exhibits and discussions and presentations and programs and celebrations and exhibits, and that has all been done with the participation of dozens, probably over 100, partnering artists, agencies, organizations, governments, etc. And one of the partnerships that we have worked with in almost every program and event is the Chumash community. And in recognition of the Chumash history that far surpasses 150 years in our region, we would like to acknowledge our presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands of the Chumash peoples. In everything we do, we seek to prioritize respect for the Chumash culture and the contemporary and future presence of Native Americans and other indigenous people throughout Ventura County. We also recognize the Chumash as the original stewards of this land while recognizing our collective responsibility to continuing to care for this land. Now, I have a very special surprise, and I would like to invite Reese Lovinson to the stage. Reese is a 4th grader at Westlake Elementary. She is so excited to be doing her first performance of the national anthem at the State of the County. She is singing and dancing around the house all the time, as well as playing soccer, running track, and just in general being an amazing young woman. So, Reese.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
future of Ventura County, everybody. We're in good hands. So after that patriotic experience, it is time to recognize the many, and when I say many, I mean many, dignitaries and elected officials with us today. Yeah, just stand up, everybody, be recognized. All right, so this is them, okay? So it's a lot. I'm gonna keep track for you so you know where we are in this. Do not applaud, okay? Do not applaud. I will tell, everybody knows you would applaud, do not applaud, or else we will be here forever. So, no further ado. State Assembly Member Jackie Irwin. I would like you to stand up, though, if you are willing to. When we say your name, do not applaud. You know I love you, Jack. Alex Cernas Mendoza, representative for Congresswoman Julia Brownley. Erica Reyes, representative for Congressman Salud Carbajal. Patty Quiros, representative for Assembly Member Steve Bennett. Anthony Angelini, representative from the office of Senator Scott Wilk. And now our supervisors, Matt Levere, the 1st District Supervisor and Chair of the Board. Kelly Long, District of Supervisor District 3 and Vice Chair. Jeff Gorell, Supervisor of District 2, Janice Parvin, Supervisor of District 4, and Vianney Lopez, Supervisor of District 5. Eric Nasarenko, our District Attorney, along with Jim Freihoff, our Sheriff. You guys are being great, by the way. So good, so good. Sue Horgan, our Treasurer Tax Collector. Michelle Ascension, the Clerk Recorder. The Honorable Kevin G. Denos, presiding judge of the Ventura County Superior Court. Okay, we're all on our best behavior. Honorable Matthew P. Guasco, the assistant presiding judge of the Ventura County Superior Court. Brenda L. McCormick, the court executive officer of the Ventura County Superior Court. Mark Lizagor, from the trustee of the Ventura County Board of Education. Dr. Cesar Morales, superintendent of the Ventura County Board of Education. Kareem Gibran, from the trustee from the Simi Valley, Unified School District, Sabrina Rodriguez, board member from the Ventura Unified School District. I'm so happy to say, I think all the council members from Simi Valley are here tonight. So Fred Thomas, mayor, Mike Judge, mayor pro tem, Dee Dee Kavanaugh, council member, Elaine Lister, council members, Elaine here, there she is, and Rocky Rhodes, council member. Thank you. City of Santa Paula also, and Steve Shorts, the chief of police. I'm never gonna forget the chief of police from Simi Valley. And Santa Paula also, we have all of the council members, Mayor Andy Sobel. There he is. Vice Mayor, up here. Oh, there you are. Oh, another voice from the sky. Vice Mayor Leslie Cornejo. Councilmember Pedro Chavez, saw him earlier. Councilmember Jenny Crosswhite, and I don't know if Carlos is here. Councilmember Carlos Juarez will be here later if he's not already. From Camarillo, almost full house, Vice Mayor Tony Tremblay. I know I saw him. Didn't I see him? There he is. Councilmember Kevin Kildee. Councilmember Dr. Martita Martinez Bravo. Councilmember David Tennyson. From Moore Park, Councilmember Renee Delgado and Councilmember Tom Means. There he is. From Port of Hueneme, Councilmember Martha McQueen Legone. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Oh, thank you, okay. And Rancho Simi Parks and Recreation District, Brian Dennert, Director. There he is, okay, voice from the sky. Caneo Rec and Park District, we have Chuck Huffer, the board chair. Thank you. George Lang, the vice chair. Marisa Buss, one of the members of the board of directors. Nell Cusworth, director. Oh, you're all together. That's so nice of you. Doug Nichols. Okay, there they are, all in a row. From Callegas Municipal Water District, Scott Quaddy, the director. Raul Avila, also in the same area. Okay, I don't see him. And from the United Water Conservation District, Mohammed Hassan. There he is. They're great. We only have this many. We're almost done. From the Port of Hueneme, Port Commissioner Jess Herrera. I know I saw Jess. There he is. And Port Commissioner Selena Zacharias. There we go. And we have the Executive Director of the Ventura County Transportation Commission with us here today, Martin Erickson. I think he's here. The Chancellor from the Ventura County Community College District, Dr. Rick McLennan. Ah, there you are. The President from Cal State University Channel Islands, Dr. Richard Yao. There you go. And this is the last one. The President from Cal Lutheran University, Dr. Lori Varlata. There we go. Now, I am sure I forgot some people, okay? Oh, where did my council people from Ventura go? I know I had council people. Oh my gosh, and Thousand Oaks. Okay, sorry. It's nothing personal. It's just Al Adam, Mayor Pro Tem from the city of Thousand Oaks, Bob Engler, council member from Thousand Oaks, and from Ventura, Joe Schrader, our mayor, and Deputy Mayor Jeanette Sanchez Palacios over here, and council member Doug Halter. Okay, Nan Drake will always keep you honest. That's a woman you want as your friend. All right, now I know I've forgotten more. Okay, Nan, anybody else that you can think of? Kristen Dekas for the Port of Hueneme, director. I'm going to stop there. I'm just going to say there are many important people here. Thank you for all you do. And let's give them a big round of applause. All right, I'm going to do another list, okay? This one is about 20 names. Again, don't applaud. These are all the people who made everything that we did in the 150th anniversary possible. A huge Jubilee concert in Santa Paula last weekend, pop-up celebrations in every district, programs on TV, state of the county, etc. And I would be remiss in not thanking them, so hold your applause, please. The museum and the county's co-presenting partners are the Economic Development Collaborative, the Pacific Coast Business Times, and the Ventura County Community Foundation. Our innovation sponsors are the City of Santa Paula, the City of Simi Valley, Harrison Industries, Limoneira, Meissner, the Port of Hueneme, Told Corporation, Ventura County Credit Union, the Ventura County Community College District, and the Wood-Clysons Foundation. Our ingenuity sponsors are the Brokaw family, the Kearney family, and the Orr family. And our creativity sponsors are Era Energy and Citizens for Energy Independence, Amgen, City National Bank, Community Memorial Healthcare, Cal State University Channel Islands, Gene Haas Foundation, Hofer Properties, just a few more, Kirby Auto Group, Pierpont Racquet Club, Mike Siddell, and there is actually one more lead sponsor who does not actually asked not to be recognized, but arguably was one of the biggest donors to the 150th, and that is my husband, former police chief, Pat Miller. You have no idea what he put up with over the last half a year. If you are a sponsor, by the way, and you didn't get your drink tickets, visit me afterwards. And if you would like to know what it was like to live with somebody putting this on, buy my husband a glass of Pinot Noir, and he'll probably tell you all about it. Now you can applaud. So I can't believe it. We are 2 minutes over, actually, almost exactly on time. It is time for me to introduce Supervisor Matt Levere. He is chair of the board. Matt has been at various times my boss when I worked at the city of Ventura. He's been my district representative when he was on city council. He was my district representative on the board of supervisors. Always my friend. Matt, please, come on up.
Always my friend. Good to see you. Okay, well, good evening, everyone. It's really, this crowd is amazing, so I really appreciate all of you taking time out of your busy schedules to come here and celebrate with us. I want to start by acknowledging two groups, and the first is Mayor Fred Thomas in the city of Simi Valley. Thank you so much for hosting this special occasion in your beautiful city. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize that we are in the wonderful 4th Supervisorial District, and a woman that I'm really honored to work with on a daily basis, my friend and colleague, Supervisor Janice Parvin. And there's one other person that I want to recognize, and somebody who should have been here tonight, and someone who I know would have loved to be here tonight, and that is my late friend, Supervisor Carmen Ramirez. Carmen, I know you're up there looking down on us, and I hope you know that we still think about you every day. So we wish you were here. But my comments tonight, the Pacific Coast Business Times was kind enough to run a 150th anniversary special edition report for us. Thank you, Henry Dubroff. I know you're here somewhere. And in the foreword that I wrote for that report, I noted that it was really amazing to consider for a county that's grown from 3,500 residents in 1873 to over 850,000 residents today, the amount of growth and change that this county has seen. But even with that growth, it's pretty fascinating to think about what hasn't changed. You know, the features of our community that continue to define us 150 years later. Agriculture, innovation, resiliency, this natural beauty that surrounds us. Just take a step outside. But tonight I want to focus on the other two keywords that I just mentioned, and that is change and growth. If you take a step back and think about the ways that this county has grown in the last 150 years, it is just incredible. If you look at this agricultural economy that we have created, that is one of the largest ag-producing counties in the state, thriving healthcare and tourism sectors. We're the home of worldwide leaders in science and technology. We have amazing colleges and universities that are nationally respected. We have Naval Base Ventura County, which is the largest sea range on the West Coast and vitally important to our national security. We have the Port of Hueneme, which has become one of the busiest and most active ports in the entire country. So it's amazing to think about all of the ways that we have grown and changed these last 150 years. It's almost as if we have had to continually reimagine what Ventura County is and to grow and adapt to changing times. But as I thought about that, I also thought about something else, and I see a lot of elected officials in this room, and I think you'll all agree with me when I say this. Something that I hear frequently from people in the community, some people, not everybody, but it's a general sentiment that they're afraid of change and they're afraid of growth. And I get it. Change is scary. New people, new ideas, new technologies, new housing, God forbid. But there are people frightened by this change, and they tell me over and over again, why can't we just stay the same? They just want the status quo. And I hear it over and over again, but I'm here tonight to say quite firmly that the status quo is something which we simply cannot accept. Yeah. I mean, think about if our forebears 150 years ago agreed on the notion that growth and change were bad. I bet that very few of us would actually be here tonight. Maybe if you're a Borchard or a Blanchard or a Hobson or a McGrath, you might be here. I certainly wouldn't be, and I think that goes for a lot of you in this room. And so I want tonight to recognize what we need to accept about growth and change, that they have been defining features of our county for 150 years, and they're absolutely critical, fundamentally important to the success of our next 150 years. I think back to the leaders of 150 years ago, and I have to imagine they were facing a lot of the same challenges. I have to think that there were people in that time who were pressuring them to not grow, to not change. And I have to think that they were asking themselves, these foundational questions, to grow or not to grow, to change or not to change. And those are genuine questions. There are still actually numerous counties. Of the 58 counties in California, there are numerous counties that have taken the path of no growth and no change. And you might be surprised to know that there are dozens of counties in this state that still only have 30, 40, 50,000 people, county-wide populations. I mean, heck, there are several that have 2,000 to 3,000 people living in the entire county. So avoiding growth and change, that is an option. But I want to give all of you a piece of homework tonight. When this is over and you go home tonight, Google the 10 poorest counties in California. And I think you know where I'm probably going with this. Those counties that have resisted growth, that have resisted change, are among the poorest in the entire state. And the reason today that we all get to live in this amazing, beautiful place that we call home is because for 150 years, we have had leaders in Ventura County who had political courage, the backbone, to not only accept, but to embrace growth, to embrace smart growth, strategic change. Today, we stand on the shoulders of those amazing, brave, brilliant men and women, leaders who recognized that there's no such thing as simply standing still. You are either moving forward or you are most certainly moving backwards. Leaders who are not thinking about their own present-day self-interests, but leaders who are deeply thinking about the future viability of Ventura County and the well-being of generations to come. And as we chart our course over the next 150 years, we as today's leaders, a lot of leaders in this room, political leaders, community leaders, religious leaders, educational leaders, business leaders, we as leaders have to channel those individuals, those leaders who came before us. We have to channel their courage, their strategic vision, their willingness to not only accept, but to embrace change and growth. I have two little girls, 10 and 5. And I'll tell you honestly, Reese, I have a 4th grader too, so right, same age as you, but they don't sing as good as you. My nightmare is that my children, my grandchildren, my future great-grandchildren come to the county's 200th, 250th anniversary celebration, and nothing has changed. It's still exactly the same it is today. Because that would most certainly mean that Ventura County is a community in decline. And we, today, I think can all agree on what we want. We all want a safe, economically thriving community. We want a community that not only accepts but celebrates its diversity. We want a community that welcomes new ideas and new residents with open arms. We want a place that builds sufficient housing for its diverse workforce. And we all want all that, and we all have a role to play in creating that future. But I challenge you today that in taking on that role, in taking on that leadership mantle, we cannot be afraid of growth and change, because the decisions that we make today are going to impact the county that we leave behind for future generations. So thank you for taking on this challenge with me, and I really appreciate you all being here tonight.
I'm just going to move us right along because I can't really say anything to follow that. Thank you so much, Chair of the Board. Now it is time for the heart of our presentation, the 2023 State of the County Address. This is the second time that this will be delivered by County CEO Dr. Sevet Johnson. Dr. Johnson has only lived in our county for 10 years. It's amazing, which means that 20% of the time she's lived here, she's given the State of the County Address. So there you go. She's been a CEO for just a little under 2 years, and during that time, she's established a tone of accountability, forthrightness, calm, forward thinking, and I just want to say kindness also. And she serves on the museum's board of directors, so she's actually my boss. And I can tell you that she makes sure that those attributes come through in everything she does. So please welcome Dr. Johnson.
Good evening. It is lovely to see you all here tonight, and I want to echo our chair and say thank you for being here and celebrating with us. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for your commitment to our county and wanting to hear about what we've been doing this past year and what we look forward to as we move into 2024. So I'm going to take us through a high-level overview of the county. Then you'll notice that the discussion will mirror our strategic priorities that were recently approved by our board October 17th. So first off, of course, we have our Honorable Board of Supervisors. We have our chair of the board that you just heard from, Supervisor Matt Levere. He represents the cities of Ojai, Ventura, and an unincorporated North County. District 2, Supervisor Gorell, covers a portion of Camarillo, Thousand Oaks, Oak Park, and Westlake. District 3, Supervisor Kelly Long, represents Camarillo, Santa Paula, Fillmore, Piru, portions of unincorporated Oxnard, Lockwood Valley. District 4, Supervisor Janice Parvin. Her district covers Moore Park, my home, and Simi Valley, Bell Canyon, and Box Canyon. And finally, District 5, Supervisor Vianney Lopez. She represents Oxnard and Port Hueneme. And you'll see we have the district map up. We also have 6 independently elected officials. We are very grateful for them. I'll go through their names quickly. Keith Taylor is our assessor, Jeff Berg, our auditor controller, Michelle Ascension, our clerk recorder, Eric Nazarenko, our district attorney, Jim Freihoff, our sheriff, and Sue Horgan, our treasurer tax collector. Now, all the work that we do at the county could not be done without a group of extremely strong leaders. The county has over 10,000 employees. We have 27 agencies, various departments, and our 27 agency directors are the ones that really take the vision of the board and they have to implement it at the ground level. They have to communicate that to their staff, and they have to ensure that they're communicating clearly so that the mission of the board is put into action. I'm proud to report that through these 27 agency directors, we have over 600 years of experience and expertise ranging from law enforcement to engineering to critical infrastructure. And that is what makes our county one of the most special to me. Now, our county is a social safety net. And what does that mean? It means that we provide critical core services to all. We support over 850,000 residents in our region, and we are the second largest employer here in the county. To do that, we have to be effective, we have to be efficient, and we have to make sure that we are accountable to the people, to our constituents. So let's talk about our areas of focus. Because we provide a very wide array of services, we're broken down into groups: finance, health and human services, infrastructure, industry and resource management, public safety. Making sure I'm not going too far ahead. Thank you. So the county is a steward of the provision of services and maintenance of an expansive infrastructure. We are caretakers of important green space that provide recreation opportunities to visitors and residents alike. We also provide essential services that intersect some of the most important times of all of our lives. You can think of births, weddings, and the passing of loved ones. But to do all of this, we have to ensure that we have strong financial health. And this is done by good decisions made by our elected Board of Supervisors. Year over year, the county receives the highest credit rating possible from 2, Standard & Poor's and Moody's, of our top credit rating agencies. They also judge private entities, and we're held to that same level, so it's extremely impressive that we can continue these high marks. This is an indication that our county has sound policies and processes in place. So for our fiscal year 23-24 budget, we have a $2.9 billion budget. The interesting thing is that you'll see the breakdown, is that 70% of our budget is health and human services and the administration of justice. And something I'll always remember, we were on a panel discussion and our public defender, Claudia Batista, she said, your budget is your moral compass. So if we look at our budget for the county, we can definitely say the county's moral budget is ensuring the health and well-being of our residents, the safety of our residents, and the incomparable quality of life that we find here in Ventura County. I talked about fiscal conservativeness and the ability to make sure we're planning ahead, that we're looking to the future. One of the ways that we're able to do that is diligent financial management, and an indicator of that is our rainy day funds, our reserves. Year over year, our board has made it a policy to ensure that we have between 10 and 15% of rainy day funds. For fiscal years 22 and 23, that was at about $152 million, and you'll see that fiscal year 24, it's at $170 million. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because, for instance, in 2020, when the global pandemic hit, the County of Ventura did not have to wait for the state or the federal government to send a check or to wire an EFT. They were able to move into immediate action to order masks, to order gowns for the hospital, to order critical PPE to make sure our county was safe. When you don't have reserves, you don't have that luxury. So we want to make sure that we're planning for the future and we're planning for the unknown. Another indicator of stability is our pension funding percentages. Now, a funny story about this, we're currently funded at 97.2%. And when we met last year with the credit agencies, they thought it was a typo. And they literally said, is that number right? And we said, yeah, 90, that's the number. And they said, well, we usually don't see numbers that high. And so we did some digging. We found out in the state of California, usually the average is high 70s, low 80s. But here it's 97.2%. So that's significant because it means that pensions won't be cut. The promises that were made to employees that worked for 10, 20, and 30 years will remain. Their benefits won't change. And it just shows that the County of Ventura is continually looking to make sure that we take care of our own. I talked about ARPA a little bit last year, so I won't go into much detail this year, but to remind you that because of the pandemic in 2022, Congress enacted the American Rescue Plan Act. We were allocated $164 million. The bulk of our allocations went to housing and homelessness, infrastructure, critical infrastructure like water, sewer, IT, community parks, recreations and facilities, and mental health. So many of those projects are ongoing, and we'll talk about that a little bit today. Now, Ventura County is special, and we often say that a lot, but there's a reason. One is the beautiful quality of life that we experience here. We have access to green space. We have national forests and coastline. Something that Supervisor Long often says is that we are the Goldilocks County, because we're not too big, we're not too small, we're just right. She says this all the time, so I know it. And that we have everything from urban to suburban and rural. And you know, something about that is really true. We have the Channel Islands National Park, we have the Los Padres National Forest. There's a reason why people love to live and recreate here. Now, given that, we have a high responsibility to create a community environment that has an eye on sustainability. We have to protect our open space and our top priorities that lend themselves to a high quality of life here in the county. So one exciting thing is GSA was rated in the top 50 green fleets in the United States. This year was their first year to be in the top 10. For the last 4 years, they've been in the top 50, but we hit the top 10 mark this year, which is pretty cool. We also realized about $1.4 million in savings through solar energy in our GSA managed buildings. And we also purchased green power from the Clean Power Alliance. We have oversight of 18 county parks that account for open space and recreation areas for residents and tourism. Now to talk about some of our agencies. So our Sheriff's Office is also celebrating 150 years because they were one of the first agencies formed when the county was established. Good news, we have 2 cities in the top 10. Number 3 is Moore Park. Number 10 is Thousand Oaks. Thank you. And in 2022, Ventura County was rated as the safest large county in California. And I think that's something to be really proud of. Now you'll see a picture here and it's a big old ribbon. You're probably like, where are you all at? So this year we're able to have a ribbon cutting for the Health and Programming Unit. This is a 64-unit medical facility that can treat individuals that are charged under the care of the sheriff and have medical or mental health concerns that require them to need a little extra care. The facility is absolutely gorgeous. Sheriff Freihoff was there for this ribbon cutting. His officers are there. He has people that have a passion and have a heart for working with individuals with complex concerns and issues. It's a 64 unit. They have dental, they have medical, they provide mental health care there. They no longer have to transport inmates off-site to get the services that they need, which is safer for both those inmates and the officers that are caring for them. We're also able to invest a little bit over $32 million for our regional radio system, and this will help with interconnectivity and communications, allowing other public agencies to communicate in times of crisis, something that we know that our county has seen its share of. Our district attorney has been pretty busy too. They provide support to victims of crime in our community. They've taken an innovative approach to supporting victims of domestic violence, human trafficking, abuse, and offer services provided in a family justice center model. The success of their one-stop location in Ventura has allowed them to expand to Oxnard for the Carmen Ramirez Family Justice Center. We also had support from Congresswoman Brownlee in the form of $640,000 to kickstart this. And there are more plans to open at East County Family Justice Center so that individuals won't have to drive from Simi, Moore Park, Thousand Oaks, Newberry Park, across county to get those services. In addition to that, our board has taken a real focus on looking at fentanyl, and our DA has been extremely helpful in this. He's increased penalties for fentanyl dealers. There's an interagency operation called COAST, that stands for Ventura County Opioid Abuse Suppression Task Force, made up of the Sheriff's Office, DA, Public Defender, Probation, Behavioral Health, Ventura County Fire Department, Medical Examiner's Office, Public Health, and the CEO's office. And they work collaboratively together to understand what is the need, how do we get information out to the public, and what needs to be done on all fronts to reduce fentanyl use, abuse, and of course, deaths in our community. June 6th, that COAST task force went to the board and presented on their work. The board said, this sounds great, and supervisors Levere and Gorell had us do a town hall that was an absolute success. So we look forward to continuing those efforts to make sure that everyone in our county knows the dangers of fentanyl and understands that one pill can kill. On a lighter note, I understand that was a little dark. Public Works. So if you don't already, oh my, Jeff Pratt, PWA, Jeff Pratt. If you don't already, please take out your phone and go to the App Store and you can type in Ventura County Public Works. They have an app and it's actually pretty cool, and it allows you to report things like graffiti. You can report if there's overgrown brush or weeds somewhere, and you type it into the system and they can actually open up a ticket and allow that work to be done. It's extremely efficient. Also, Public Works, I think most people probably saw them earlier this year. I mean, this was a different kind of year for us. Usually we have historic fires and it's burning, burning, burning. Well, this January we had a deluge of water and it was rain, 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 and some of us just couldn't believe what was happening. To give you perspective, in Matilaha and Piru, there were over 23 inches of rain. And there was so much debris. You can see in the pictures, This is in Fillmore. That's the road before debris cleanup, and that's the road after. So there was so much debris. There were literally, think of 13 football fields, 3 feet deep each with debris. That's how much they picked up. They had to use every bulldozer and big truck they have to clean our roads for us, but they are also part of our first responder family. Last thing is public works. We talk about how do we increase our pipeline, how do we allow people to get interested in what the work we do. They have this public works day this year. 1,300 kids showed up at the boardroom. Public works had all their trucks out in the parking lot. Kids had a ball touching, climbing on, and learning about the critical work that they do. So investing in the next generation is always important. Our fire protection district, mostly known as the fire department, they have 33 stations across the county, provide services for 7 contract cities and an unincorporated. They've been in service for 95 years to our county. They are highly skilled. They are masters in communication and coordination. This year, or last year, they noticed that they had so many calls that were medical calls that this year they added 4 rescue ambulances to help out in times of high call volume, to respond to the medical needs of our community, to all of us. Of course, they do mutual aid, and they really work quickly to have rapid air response, meaning that you'll see them just cluster really quick, drop water, really try to isolate fire so that they don't spread. So containment is a really big thing. Another thing about our first responders is they give back. So this is their 30th year of partnering with Spark of Love, giving holiday gifts to children. You can see there them shopping for the children, but this week was Halloween, and so if you didn't hear it on NPR or see it on CBS or read about it in our paper, I've got to talk about this. On Halloween, the urban search and rescue team from our county fire department showed up at the Ventura County Medical Center, and they literally had Batman and Spider-Man rappelling down the hospital wall. You have to see the video, you have to see the pictures to believe it, because not only did they rappel down, but they gave out treats, they talked to the kids, and you can see the smiles on their faces. It is the most beautiful thing you could ever see, but those are the kind of people that we have serving our community. I call them everyday superheroes. I think about a walk we just did, and Captain America showed up in full suit and shield, and somebody's like, he's from the sheriff's department. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is hilarious. But they give back. So not only are they protecting and serving, but they do give back, and I just think that's really amazing to see play out every day, some things that the general public won't hear about or don't know about. So our Human Services Agency, a critical agency in the county, they serve 1 in 4 residents in Ventura County, a caseload of over 235,000. What are some of the critical services they'll do? I'll tell you, veteran services and connecting people to Medi-Cal. Veteran services, they were able to get over $17 million in benefits for veterans and their families. That is critical. Connecting people to Medi-Cal so that they can access services that they need, because community wellness and health is important for all of us. Also, one more I'll mention, because it's about transitional age youth, they were able to launch VC Thrive, which is a pilot. Often when, and I'll talk about this some more, when kids transfer out of the foster system at 18, they don't really have a lot. They don't have family. They don't have supportive people that they can count on, that they can live with. They're just sort of expected to figure it out, make it, and be successful. Well, this pilot program will offer them some monthly stipends to help them on their feet as they're trying to figure out life, as they're trying to ensure they have housing and connect with trade school or community college or university. And that was made possible by over a $1.5 million grant from the state and some matching funds from the county. So as you know, we have a thriving hospital system, and I say system because we have 2 full-service hospitals and over 80 clinics providing medical, specialty, primary, mental health, public health, and substance use services. This is an asset to our whole county. One example of that is that Just this year in 2023, VCMC went into an agreement with Community Memorial Hospital to provide pediatric care. We have the only pediatric intensive care unit in the county. We have a Ronald McDonald Family House, the only Ronald McDonald Family House and a public county hospital. In addition to that, one thing I'll say also is that we are one of 12 counties, one of 12 that have a county hospital. This is such a value to everyone who lives and works in our county, especially for the hospital systems that use this training hospital to call, to check in, to say, we're seeing this. What standard of care are you using? What protocols are you using? We saw just how important that was during COVID. I'm going to read something. I got an email just this morning, and it came to myself and our Board of Supervisors. I'm going to read a snippet of it because it's really powerful. I just got it today. It says, "Good morning, CEO Johnson. I am writing to you about an employee at VCMC named Maria J. Maria works as a hospital housekeeper engineer on the labor and delivery floor. While usually people write to complain about employees, on the contrary, this letter is to give special recognition to a wonderful employee, Maria J. We believe she is truly an angel in disguise. Sometimes God uses people to be reminders of our faith. You never know how God can use them to bring you through those times. Although Maria may not have known she was there when she was needed, even if it was just a friendly hello or a nice gesture of comfort. Maria was someone my daughter needed during this time of distress. She was diagnosed with, I'm going to leave that blank, and was unexpectedly admitted to the hospital. Maria, in her diligence, noticed my daughter was nervous and probably a little scared and said hello. She was professional and kept the conversation to a minimum, asked how she was doing. My daughter probably felt her transient spirit and explained to her what was going on. Maria, probably not expecting to hear all this, told my daughter, "Mommy, everything will be okay." While that may not seem like much, these simple, kind words meant a lot to her. Every day while my daughter was there, Maria would come in with her big, beautiful smile, doing her job, and would stop in and say hello and remind my daughter she was going to be okay. I want to personally thank Maria, they went on, but I'm skipping, for being there when I couldn't be there, as I am sure she is there for many others in the hospital. Employees like Maria go above and beyond their job through her acts of compassion and caring for people. Please share this with her and the VCMC leadership team. That's an example of the kind of people that we have serving in our hospitals and the care that's provided all the time. Just today, maybe 2 hours before I got here, Dr. Fankhauser, the CEO of the hospital, sent an email saying that for the 6th year straight, VCMC was named an American College of Surgeons the meritorious hospital for their surgical quality outcomes in 2022. Yeah. Again, I can't say I'm surprised. And in my email response, I said, thank you to you and your leadership. This just demonstrates what we see daily. I said a few more things, but that was the gist of it. So behavioral health, oh my goodness. It's been a time of absolute transformation for behavioral health. We've been talking about this thing called CalAIM. It's finally here, and everything feels like it's changed. We've moved into payment reform and IGTs. We have new paths to service, completely eliminating a wait. You can walk in and literally say, I need help, and they can start billing and seeing you immediately. That all of a sudden just immediately knocked out everyone who had been waiting for service or needing service and couldn't get in for an assessment, because now that doesn't even matter anymore. We have a new mobile crisis benefit that's starting in 2024. We have a new strategy and planning unit. We have a new quality division. We brought on an assistant director and a new chief for the access and outreach. And coming in 2024, something that we'll hear a lot more about is Care Court. And Behavioral Health is proud to partner with several agencies on this fun initiative: the DA, the courts, our sheriff's office, probation. There's going to be a lot of people working together to make sure that we're meeting the needs of individuals with psychosis, schizophrenia, and making sure that not only are they housed, but they're getting the treatment that they need. So now, in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, you're gonna see an amazing story that pretty much sums up everything that I said, but it's gonna have a much more lasting impact. Let's have a look.
We create a safe community by working collaboratively with all our agencies here in Ventura County with dedicated and committed professionals. And I am so proud to say that we have exceptional first responders working all across our agencies.
This aviation unit in the state of California, you'll be hard-pressed to find anybody that does what we do the way we do it. To bring the people we have together, the fire captains, the firefighters, the fire paramedics, the volunteer search and rescue paramedics, the sheriff's deputies, you're not going to find this anywhere else in the United States.
When we are collaborating across agencies to understand what the needs are, we are going to be better prepared to answer to those needs, whether it's through behavioral health, through programs that are reaching our community, whether it's someone going into our hospital for emergency care.
It was 4th of July. We were getting ready to go to the park when she came out of the car on the freeway. In no time, the ambulance came and took us straight to the county hospital.
In Ventura County, we have 2 hospitals, one of which has a great pediatric intensive care unit.
They just started working on her, and that didn't stop. The nurses that came to pick her up from the helicopter, the people who first received her into the emergency department, they all played a vital role in her survival.
Ventura County is fortunate to have people who care very deeply.
They sacrifice their family to help other families like us. That's heavy.
We got an opportunity to come back and see those faces and thank them.
I've been on the receiving end of those phone calls. Families reaching out, you brought my daughter home. You sent my father home.
We all came into public service to serve the citizens of Ventura County. Everyone shows up here ready, willing and able to do whatever was called for.
It's phenomenal what we can achieve here together for this county and for the people that live here.
You know, that's pretty special. I'm extremely grateful that the Hernandez family has joined us tonight, and little Miss Grace is here also, so just wave a little bit. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your story with all of us. So as we know, a robust and vibrant economy provides jobs, tax revenue, and quality of life for our residents. Our economy supports essential services like education, infrastructure, health, and public safety. However, economic growth cannot be taken for granted, and it is a particular focus of mine and of your County Board of Supervisors. Ventura County nurtures and fuels innovation, as evidenced by its high ranking on innovation on the U.S. Economic Development Administration's Innovation Intelligence Index. Out of over 3,000 counties nationwide, Ventura County was ranked 230. Some of the key strengths demonstrating our innovation capacity include our highly educated workforce, our robust high-tech industries like biotech, advanced manufacturing, software development, and aerospace, and our extremely diverse economy because we don't have an over-concentration in any single sector. With exceptional worker talent, growing high-tech companies, and economic diversity, we possess fundamental ingredients for innovation. We foster an environment where groundbreaking ideas can thrive and literally change the world. Our ranking validates Ventura County as a place where the future is created. To talk a little bit about some of the industries that we have here. In biotech, we have Amgen, right in Thousand Oaks, their global headquarters, employing over 5,500 people, which is the largest private employer in our county. They have extensive research and development, manufacturing, and administrative operations. Simtech's global headquarters and main campus are located right in Camarillo. They employ about 1,400 employees, and they design and manufacture semiconductor chips, which we know because of the CHIPS Act enacted by Congress is something that is in high demand and need. The Trade Desk, oops, I did not mean to do that. The Trade Desk, a $1.58 billion startup headquartered in Ventura, has 3,000 employees worldwide in over 30 locations. Patagonia, retail and environment. They're an innovator in the business world through its commitment in philanthropy and the environment. Limonera, one of our top sponsors for the 150th actually, founded in 1883, they are a global leader in the ag industry. They have over 11,000 acres in agricultural production of lemons, avocados, citrus, oranges, and other crops. And finally, DW Drums, right in Oxnard, they manufacture the world's best drums. Sheila E., Prince, Katy Perry, the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer, so many use those drums. So we have some heavy hitters right here in our backyard. As mentioned earlier, Ventura County has a diversity of industries. And our innovation prospers here because we have an ecosystem that supports, nurtures, and celebrates entrepreneurship and innovation in our business community. We have key partnerships right here, and we value growing our businesses that support our jobs and our workers. So some top things to know about our industry sectors. The county is one of the most productive agricultural regions in California, generating over $2 billion in annual crop value. Our biotech sector saw output expand by over $550 million from 2019 to 2021, accounting for 70% of total economic growth in the region. With nearly $10 billion in GDP and 992 firms, manufacturing is the largest and most productive industry sector in Ventura County. And it should be noted that 59% of our manufacturers have 10 or fewer employees. That underscores the need to support our small and medium-sized businesses. Tourism, we know everything shut down for a few years, but we've rebounded in Ventura County, with travel spending rising 13.5% to reach $1.76 billion in 2022 and 1,600 new jobs, an 11% increase, generating $619 million in earnings. And last but not least, our creative economy generates over $3 billion of economic output every year and supports over 12,000 jobs here in Ventura County. So who do we work with? Mentioned earlier, and you'll see in the video in a second, the Port of Hueneme. They have $2.8 billion in economic input, and they're pursuing innovative and sustainability goals. They support over 24,000 regional jobs and leads in green port innovation. They recently got an $80 million investment to advance their sustainability and equity goals on the path to zero emissions. Also is the Naval Base Ventura County. They are the largest employer with over 18,000 military and civilian personnel. They provide high-quality jobs and economic benefits while partnering to catalyze innovation through research and design labs and accelerators. Channel Island Harbors is driving economic growth through projects like the new Hyatt House Hotel, Fisherman's Wharf redevelopment, and the Rock revetment upgrade. This year alone, they had new events that brought over 50,000 visitors, and the year is not over yet. These exciting new developments will collectively generate over $26 million in annual revenue and over 243 new jobs. It will increase tourism and expand public amenities for residents and visitors to enjoy. You'll see they're planning a new inclusive park, and they show some of the events that the harbors had just this year in 2023. Next is our airports, with over $281 million in combined revenue and 2,000 jobs provided by Camarillo and Oxnard Airport collectively. These facilities act as economic engines supporting private travel and over 75 businesses locally. They include vital public services like our VC Air unit for emergency response, which is housed there. But we couldn't do all this work with some really important entities. So first off is the Workforce Development Board. And if you're an employer, if you're an entrepreneur, there's a number you should probably have in your phone. Workforce Development Board, you can look at it like they have two arms. One is business services and one is career support. So in their business services arm, they do job fairs. They can provide no-cost support for HR. If you have an HR question, you want to bounce something off them, you can call them. And they supported almost 1,400 businesses this year. Their phone number is right there for the no-cost HR hotline, if you want to jot that down. Career services, they helped over 4,000 people pursuing a job. And they do something unique because they are able to work with, because of grants, some different kind of populations that may have challenges finding a traditional job and may not have a traditional job search. So individuals that are not able-bodied and they may have a disability, individuals that are just as involved, or individuals that are unhoused, or maybe they've been impacted by wildfires or COVID-19 when we were going through that. Next, we have the Economic Development Collaborative. The EDC, thank you. The EDC delivers critical services that drive business growth and job creation throughout Ventura County. In the past year alone, EDC's provided in-depth technical assistance to over 1,330 local firms. That's contributed to 259 new jobs, 40 new startups, and $54 million in new capital investment for our region. They were recently honored, and you see this picture of Dr. Ray Bowman there, with the prestigious E Award, and it's for exceptional contributions to expanding U.S. exports. And the way someone explained it to me when we first heard about it, they're like, it's like winning the Oscars. So it's kind of a big deal. Looking ahead, Ventura County has invested $3 million in ARPA funding over 3 years to expand EDC initiatives in key areas like business and capital assistance, child care business support, and high-tech startup advancement through FathomWorks. With EDC's help, we know that businesses can start here, grow here, and thrive here. Another entity is Women's Economic Ventures. They deliver critical training, advising, and access to capital that empower entrepreneurs and small businesses as engines of economic growth here in the county. The county supports WEAVE's program that specializes in serving business owners with limited English proficiency in historically marginalized communities. Over the next 2 years, the county has allocated $1 million through ARPA for programs such as Aprendiendo, the Forgivable Loan Program, short and long-term customized business consulting, and financial education and literacy. Next, Ventura County's creative economy. As I said, it generates over $3.2 billion of economic output every year, supporting over 12,000 jobs. You can see the wide range of jobs. Maybe you can't. Might be on the next slide, but I'll tell you some is advertising, marketing, architecture, interior industrial design, fashion, film, entertainment, broadcasting, fine and performing arts. The list goes on and on. The creative economy, the magic there is that it reaches into areas that typically you may not think of, including community development, justice and rehabilitation, human services and healthcare, and overall quality of life. It creates economic and social mobility. It can bring us together in non-intrusive ways and overall help us learn from one another. It allows us to connect through shared moments and experiences, contributing to our well-being individually and collectively. Very few economic sectors can do that, and that's why the board has prioritized the arts, and it's something that we're investing in. Oh, there goes all the industries there. So the county, we're very happy that we've had an arts and cultural manager, David Yoshitomi, just over a year, and he has been hard at work, making connections, meeting community, working even with our sister neighbor county in order to work on our strategic plan that will then guide us as we move forward in the arts and create sustainable growth for our creative arts sectors. Last, we're going to be rolling out our first ever arts funding, and that is to help individuals and organizations that were impacted by the pandemic. and that'll be coming very shortly. So county initiatives, if you have a smartphone, and that's probably everybody in here, but maybe there's a few that don't, but if you have a smartphone, I really encourage you to scan that QR code. We just launched our Business Forward website this week, and it's absolutely pretty amazing. It's a redesign that provides a centralized online platform or gateway promoting Ventura County's appeal for starting, growing, or relocating a business through accessible information on resources like business advising, capital access, employee training, and permitting that highlights the region's skilled workforce and high quality of life. It'll provide a platform for business attraction and will help us as we continue with business outreach. So next, we're going to see a short video on economic vitality here in our county. Let's take a look.
The company has been successful, and a very big part of its success is because of our proximity to the Pacific Ocean, the ideal climate here in Ventura County, and just the ease in which we're able to do business here.
Everything that makes California great is found here in Ventura County, whether it's our beaches, our mountains, our open space, our trails, we've got waterfalls, just about everything that we could ever want. Ventura County has a wonderful economy, enormously diverse, everything from biotech, health tech, agriculture.
We have construction, we have the naval base, health services, professional, technical, scientific, manufacturing, leisure, and hospitality. We have everything in Ventura County.
One of our great economic engines is the Port of Hueneme. It's the only deepwater port between Los Angeles and San Francisco. Huge imports and exports there, particularly automobiles and fresh fruits, is a driver for our economy and for the trade and commerce of the region.
FathomWorks is an innovation and prototyping lab. We're partnered with the Matter Lab, Economic Development Collaborative, NAVC, NAVFAC, the Port of Hueneme, as well as NAVAIR.
Our experience working with the county has been amazing, with all the different agencies getting involved with us and fully supporting us.
We have 2 amazing Navy bases locally that are generating all kinds of innovation in the areas of aerospace and aviation, including collision avoidance technology, unmanned systems, both in the air, on the water, and below the water. And all of this together is incredible synergy that's going to drive the technologies of the future.
I think Ventura County does have the kind of culture that does foster innovation. If you look at the pockets around the world where innovative people cluster or choose to sort of be together, you typically find that they do it in places they enjoy living.
Quality of life in Ventura County is really, really important. It's important to every single person that lives here.
Rotorcraft Support is a full-service helicopter maintenance facility. In 2020, we moved our facility into Ventura County. We've been able to expand. We've been able to add new equipment, innovations that we weren't able to do in our previous location. And also, in order for our employees to have a better quality of life and finding the right employees from Ventura County.
The county government can place as a priority job creation. We're focusing on trying to find ways to streamline permitting. We want to also be the strongest proponents for our community.
One of the great things about doing business in Ventura County is that we offer valuable resources to enable women-owned businesses to thrive through Business Forward Ventura County. We've made it so much easier through our partnership with the EDC and the WEAVE, Women Economic Ventures, and other economic organizations throughout Ventura County.
We have great schools, high-performing public schools. We have renowned institutions of higher learning. We're a safe community, and we prioritize safety, not only in our homes and at workplace, but in our schools. And so all of these things are drivers that attract the next generation of industries, particularly in tech and innovation. And we are prepared to be the next place for that group of jobs to expand.
This is really one of the most beautiful places on the planet. So to have the opportunity to operate our business here, which we've now done successfully for over 130 years, it's really an ideal situation. And
if I had a chance to talk to any CEO in the world, I'd tell them this is the best place to run your company.
It's really the perfect place to live and work.
Wow. You know, I've seen that that video a few times, and every time I see it, I get so pumped up because it's like, wow. If I had to talk to any CEO in the country, I tell them this is the best place to run your company. That's pretty impressive, and I hope that makes all of you proud when you think about the county you live in and where we're heading. So thank you. So throughout the state, housing is in high demand, and Ventura County is not immune. Significant progress has been made to expand the housing supply locally and provide residents access to housing resources. So in 2022, we had some achievements. 4,000 building permits were approved by the Resource Management Agency, which is no small task. The state has a stringent plan for increasing housing, and we're on an 8-year cycle. Within the first 14 months of that cycle, RMA was able to achieve 30% of construction towards that housing assessment, and that's pretty significant. And then in 2023, SCAG honored RMA with a Sustainability Award for their Farm Worker Housing Initiative. The county has made it easier to develop a variety of agricultural worker housing by updating development standards and permitting processes and really streamlining the process that one has to go through in order to get those permits approved. So that's something we will continue to work on as we understand that time is of the essence and we need to move in order to be able to build and approve permits for developers. Homelessness is an issue the county is working on addressing every single day. It's multifaceted because everyone who is experiencing homelessness or is unhoused has a different story and a different path has led them there. One of the things I think we can all agree on is that homelessness will not be solved overnight. And it's not something that one organization or one entity can do alone. It's something that everyone has to lean in on and be committed to so that we can make the progress that's needed. Some of the things that we're happy to see are the successful Project Home Key Awards from the state, the several housing projects for affordable housing that are in the pipeline to provide up to 1,600, a little over 1,600 housing units. And recently, the city of Ventura received a $32 million grant from the state, which is the largest home key grant to date. In collaboration with several of our cities, we were awarded almost an $800,000 grant from SCAG to look at properties, areas, maybe even buildings, and see how we could reimagine them and how we can use some of those development sites to house people that currently are unhoused. But we can't do this alone. And we know that in 2023, we saw a 9% increase in those that are unhoused with our point-in-time count. So, as I've said, no one can do it alone, and it's reflective of what we're seeing in the state, but we know that we have to move quickly. This is one of the strategic priorities of the Board of Supervisors, and it's also something that we know collaboratively, working with law enforcement, with our Human Services Agency, with our healthcare agency, and following a multidisciplinary approach, we know that we can make really good progress, much like our backpack medicine partnership. So I really want to say thank you to our partners, both traditional and non-traditionals, that are rolling up their sleeves with us in order to tackle homelessness. When I say non-traditional, I think of organizations like the Ventura County Community Foundation. I think of our partners at the Ventura County Office of Education, Dr. Morales. I think about the meetings that I sit in when I hear people that you wouldn't traditionally think about adding housing to our pipeline are saying, well, what can we do to house our educators? What can we do to look at different options and reimagine what housing even looks like? And it's contagious, it's creative, it's innovative, and it's what makes us thrive and what will allow us to have success in this very crucial area. So what have we done? Directed by the board, we engaged a consultant, Lazar, and we did a deep dive, qualitative and quantitative. The county and 3 of our cities signed on to really have them talk with us, have them look at all of our numbers, have them talk to local leaders, community-based organizations to identify gaps in our systems, ways that we can improve efficiencies, and to come back with a report that we should receive next month that will give us deep dive recommendations, some high level recommendations, prioritize to say, if you do this, this is what you can expect to see and how you can expect your numbers to change. We're really looking for recommendations that will give us the biggest bang for our buck because we want to see change and we want it to be sustainable and long lasting. We're looking at our whole continuum from emergency shelters, transitional care to permanent supportive housing and saying, what are the numbers that we need for a population of our size in our county? And then how do we address that strategically year after year to make sure as we grow, we continue to stay up to date with the numbers that we're seeing because they'll change. So we received close to $10 million in a state encampment resolution fund to our COC. And since 2020, Project Room Key has housed about 800 residents. The amazing thing is that of those 800, 62% are now stably housed. That is pretty amazing. Along with that, we talk about whole person care and looking at all the needs someone has. Over 1 million meals were served during that time to seniors, to people with disabilities, through our area agency on aging, and with Slate Restaurant through a agreement that we had. The pandemic really shed a light on the population most at risk of being unhoused, and it provided the impetus for Project Room Key. And now it's our job to make sure that we continue to address that with supportive housing. And for people who don't know what supportive housing is, it's not just putting someone in a home, but it's offering them the social supports that they need. Maybe they need career training, maybe they need mental health resources, maybe they need help to track their medical appointments so that they can stay healthy and stay stable. It's making sure that not only you put someone in a house, but they can sustain and maintain that so that horrible cycle of being unhoused stops. So now, we're gonna see a quick another video featuring Supervisor Levere and Supervisor Long.
I hear from members of the community every day expressing their concerns with issues in Ventura County, and by far, the #1 concern I hear about is homelessness.
Many people feel that those that are homeless are addicted to drugs, or have severe mental illness, or simply do not want to work. And that's not true. So in our experience, everyone could experience homelessness.
It's a Goldilocks of counties. We have urban, suburban, and rural. So all the programs need to fit within the needs of the communities. And so with our continuum of care, we have really worked with our cities to partnership on items such as homelessness. And how do we get services and housing? How do we do it right?
We need strong partnerships, particularly with our nonprofit organizations and with faith-based communities, because working together, we accomplish so much more than just government working alone.
Many Mansions was formed over 45 years ago, and we work with the county in terms of developing funding for new affordable housing, but also providing those financial resources to provide on-site supportive services for those that have experienced homelessness.
Bringing the services there, getting them the needs they need, and then hopefully a lower cost to our taxpayers and better care for our residents.
The Rancho Sierra Apartments represents another close collaboration between Many Mansions, the Area Housing Authority, and the County of Ventura. It is affordable housing specifically designed for seniors experiencing homelessness. Our modular units are constructed off-site and then transported to the site.
Whether it's a module build or a ground-up build, we have to do what's right for where our community's needs are.
It's going to be a beautiful, innovative, creative living environment for our seniors with on-site programs specifically designed for seniors.
So we advocate not only on the city level, county level, but state and federal too, to ensure that we're utilizing all the dollars that we can get for the needs of our communities.
There's brighter things on the horizon when it comes to providing services and ultimately solutions to those who are unhoused in our community.
So now we're going to focus on the future in 2024 moving forward. One thing I want to share is that I wish you all could see, there's so many things I wish other people could see. I wish you could see the energy, the passion, the commitment, the service of your elected Board of Supervisors. I really do. I wish you could see the emails they respond to at all times of the day and night, the text messages they send when they're trying to work through something for a constituent and are not getting the answers that they need, and we're trying to problem solve and help them to respond to them in a very timely manner. I wish you could see the agony sometimes they have as they're contemplating difficult decisions and policy recommendations. I wish you could see that. I know you can't, but I'm telling you that this board is so active, engaged, committed, that it's inspiring every single day. So when I say the future looks bright for Ventura County, I absolutely mean it. And I know you can't see all the different scenes that I see day by day, month after month, but if you could, you would understand why I'm so enthusiastic about standing here before you today and presenting what we have done and what we're looking forward to. And this board has done tremendous things in just these 10 months or 11 months now that they've been seated. They've gelled together, they have built bonds together, and they've built cohesive relationships in the communities that they serve. And I know that you all see that because you're their constituents also, and you feel it and you experience it. So I had to say that because I know I'm optimistic, but I hope you can just see my glimmer and understand why and get optimistic with me, because we are moving forward. This board is not standing for the status quo. That is just not going to happen. And that is so reassuring, exciting to stand here and be able to say that. Thank you. So I'm almost done, and I know I am the one standing between you and networking and catching up with people. I'm very aware of that. So as we focus on the future in terms of economy, we'll be looking at our newly launched Business Forward site and continuing outreach with our business community. If you scan the QR code and you have it, you'll see changes coming in the next weeks, the next month, because we're just going to keep improving and improving. We're going to hear feedback, we're going to respond, and we're going to change it until it's just right in order to make sure that is a tool that really serves our business community. We're going to continue to reap the benefits from our ARPA-funded projects. We are strategic. We did a survey. We surveyed over 748 people. They all responded. The board directed. They had priorities. And we've laid out things that will last for decades and decades, think 20 and 30 years. So they weren't one-time things where it's like they just go away and fizzle out. It's exciting developments that they have been. Our Workforce Development Board is going to be focusing more on business services and servicing the businesses in our community. So that's something that we're proud to jump behind, especially as we have gone live with our Business Forward website. We're going to continue streamlining our permitting process and looking at ways we can do better to serve our businesses through our planning department. And our strategic plan to grow our creative economy and help them access grants, help them access funding so that they can be sustainable. In terms of our healthy community, really believing that the building blocks of a healthy community start with a strong foundation. And our next generation of leaders are found in the youngest of our residents here in our community. Early education not only builds the critical foundation for successful learning for our next generation of leaders, but it also supports parents with childcare needs and contributes to current and future career services for parents of our young learners. With that, we invested $5 million in ARPA funds to our partners at Cal State University Channel Islands in support of their Early Childhood Education Center. That'll support young learners, especially families that work in agriculture. We'll continue to collaborate and provide input with our partners at VCCF, our Ventura County Community Foundation, or as Vanessa says, your Ventura County Community Foundation, and their involvement in the Isabella project that's now currently a pilot in Santa Clara Valley, but we know that will grow. We'll continue our strong partnership with First 5 Ventura County with our Ventura County libraries. In terms of sustainability, we recognize that we have to protect this precious land and these precious resources that we've been blessed with for future generations to come. There's another QR code there that you can reach out. I just got the 60-minute time limit, so I'm really wrapping up now. There's another QR code that you can take a picture of. It's our Climate Resilient VC webpage, and it's great. It's got a lot of resources if you want to learn simple ways you can be more green. It talks about EV charging and green practices and how you can switch to greener energy. We have a collaboration with CPA to install 1,500 EV charging stations by 2025. We've installed solar panels and we're going to get battery energy storage centers. We're estimated to provide $12 million in savings over the next 20 years. And of course, the water conservation projects we have by our GSA, General Service Agency, grounds crew. They've put in drought-tolerant gardens all over our county campuses and saved over $300,000 just in the last year. Now it's getting late, but this is not a lotto slide, I promise you. But I love this slide because it shows so much hope for me. When you look at those numbers, those are the numbers of units that are coming on board in our county projected by the end of 2024. It's a lot of units. And they're not even all listed here because we didn't want to just pack the slide even though we clearly did. But there's even more. By the end of 2024, we anticipate that we'll be able to add 1,448 units here in our county. Of those, 486 will be reserved for permanent supportive housing, so housing plus supports. 900 will be affordable units. 40 will be for our TAY-age youth, transitional age youth, 16 to 25, so they're just not hanging in the wind without anything if they've gone through our foster system and don't have a support system in place. And that brings me a great deal of hope, a great deal of excitement, and you'll see that there's units coming all over the county. This is not something that's just in one place. You can literally see, looking at the slides, that it's all over the county. And so I think that's something we can all be really, really proud of. Next, our safe community. I told you we're the safest large county in California, and I'll tell you that our sheriff and our DA, they expect to keep it that way. They went for and received, the sheriff received over $15 million in a grant for organized retail theft. The DA got over $2 million. What are they going to do with those dollars? They're going to make sure people know you don't want to come here and do smash and grabs. Yeah. We take our safety really personal here, as we should. Another really cool, innovative thing our fire department is doing is they use these pump pods, and so they're saving billions of water, and their training exercises recycling the water instead of just letting it run off. So we're pretty excited because they're being sustainable, because we know we have fires, we need water, but we need to be good stewards of that as well. And then technology. We have a really keen eye on technology. We're not ignoring AI. We know it exists. We know it's around. We're looking at policies and procedures around how to use it, how to increase our customer service. Some other things we're doing, we're talking about broadband, looking at extending broadband to some of our historically underserved communities. We're going to be doing phase 1. That will impact 1,500 households that will now have access to the internet. Also, the expansion of the Fillmore Library, they're able to get expanded on room for a STEAM lab that will help train our future leaders that want to go into biotech, and we're really excited about that. Of everything that I said tonight, I hope you took away a few things. 1, our county is pretty innovative. 2, we have a mix of industries, and this is a great place to do business. 3, you are safe. You are in the safest large county in the state of California. And finally, and probably more than anything else, you have a board of supervisors that is committed to working for you. They hear you, they are mindful of you, they are responsive to you, and they are really servant leaders. So with that, I can't tell you how honored I am to stand here before you as the county CEO and present this information, to thank our Board of Supervisors for their leadership, to thank our state, federal, city partners for being here and being so interested in the work that we are doing and partnering with us, being at the state level, advocating for us, at the federal level, advocating for us, not forgetting about us, bringing dollars to our region that has lasting impacts for all of us, for our quality of life, for our children, our future generations, and our ability to call this amazing place home. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a good night. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. So hopeful, so wonderful. I do want to say, and I'm not going to stand in your way of the party. I do want to say, you know, it's so wonderful to know